Tonight, someone will close the door to a child's room again. The baby will lie in a crib. There will be a soft blanket, a nightlight, a camera, a bottle, a toy, and a quiet house where everything feels safe. And almost nobody will think about the fact that, for most of human history, this scene would not have looked like care. It would have looked like a risk. Because a baby sleeping alone, far from adults, in the dark, was not just a baby to the ancient world. It was a signal. Warm, helpless, smelling of milk, and far too loud. But that is not the strangest part. The strangest part is something parents do every day without thinking. They pick up a crying baby, hold it close, and suddenly the baby calms down. We usually think it just feels safe. But by the end, you may see that moment differently. Because what looks like comfort today may actually be an ancient survival program. One that started long before apartments, cribs, and baby monitors existed. First, we need to understand the main problem. A human baby is born almost completely helpless. A newborn horse can stand within hours. A baby ape can grip its mother's fur from the first moments of life. But a human baby cannot even hold up its own head. It cannot walk. It cannot speak. It cannot feed itself. It cannot run, hide, or protect itself. From nature's point of view, this looks like a mistake. But it is not a mistake. It is the price. Humans have enormous brains. If babies were born more developed, their heads would be too large to pass safely through birth. So evolution made a strange compromise. Human babies arrive before they are fully ready for the world. We got the most powerful brain on the planet and paid for it with the most helpless infant. Now imagine the ancient world. None of the protections we take for granted existed. No doctors nearby, no safe crib, no sterile bottle, no formula, no white noise from a phone, no help arriving through a video call. An ancient baby had only adult arms, body warmth, firelight, and the darkness just beyond it. And in that darkness, something could hear crying. To a leopard, a hyena, a snake, or any other predator, a baby's cry was not a cute sound. It was a clue, a direction, an invitation. So here is the real question. How did babies like that survive at all? The answer may feel uncomfortable to modern people. They were not raised alone. For almost all of human history, a child was not the private project of one exhausted parent. A child belonged to the group. A mother, father, grandmother, older siblings, aunts, neighbors, and other adults all became part of the child's survival system. The baby was carried, warmed, fed, calmed, watched, and passed from one pair of arms to another. Not because it was sweet, because without that, the baby might not live until morning. Human babies are too demanding for one person. They need food, attention, warmth, protection, and touch almost constantly. If one mother had to do everything alone, our species might not have survived. We did not survive because we were the strongest. We survived because we learned to share the weight across many hands. And this is why modern parenting can feel so brutally hard. Imagine it is night, the apartment is quiet, the baby is crying. Your phone is nearby, but real help is not. A parent sits in the dark and thinks, why can't I handle this? What is wrong with me? Most likely, nothing is wrong. They are simply trying to do alone what for hundreds of thousands of years was done by a group. Among ancient humans, babies were almost never separate. They were held, carried on the body, passed between people, kept close to breathing, skin, voices, and movement. A baby on the ground was danger. When our ancestors began walking on two legs, human infants lost something baby apes still have. They had almost nothing to cling to. Their mothers no longer had thick fur for them to grip for hours, so the baby had to be carried, constantly, in arms, in slings, in animal hides, against the chest, on the back. This was not convenience. It was not a parenting style. It was survival technology. And this is where it gets interesting. When a baby is picked up and held against a body, it often calms quickly. Its heartbeat becomes steadier. Its breathing slows. The crying fades. A modern person says, "The baby feels loved." But the ancient meaning may be much harsher. If an adult has picked you up and is carrying you, danger may be nearby. And if you are being carried away from danger, the worst thing you can do is scream loudly enough for both of you to be found. So the baby may not become quiet only because it feels good. Its body may be reading the situation as, "I am being moved to safety. Stay silent." There is no leopard in your house. But the baby's nervous system does not know that. It is still running a program written in a world where crying at night could attract death. Feeding was also completely different. Today there are bottles, formula, sterilizers, jars of puree, baby cereal, feeding charts, and endless advice online. In the ancient world, the safest food was breast milk. It was clean, nutritious, and helped protect against infection in a world with no antibiotics and no emergency room. Children were breastfed for years, not because it was a trend, not because people were arguing about it in comment sections, because there was no reliable alternative. And when a baby needed something beyond milk, food did not come from a jar. An adult chewed meat, roots, or other tough food first, softened it in their mouth, and then passed it to the child. To a modern person, that sounds strange, but to an ancient baby, it could be the difference between life and death. Some researchers have even suggested that very ancient roots of human kissing may be connected to this kind of feeding. So one of the most romantic gestures in the world may not have started with romance. It may have started with baby food before blenders existed. But the most unexpected part of this story is grandmothers. In many animals, life does not continue very long after reproduction ends. From evolution's perspective, that makes sense. If a body can no longer produce offspring, why keep it running for decades? Humans are different. Women can live long after their reproductive years, and one possible reason is grandchildren. Grandmothers may have been one of the great secrets behind human survival. They gathered food, watched children, helped mothers, fed older kids, and supported the whole group. A grandmother was not just extra help. She may have been an evolutionary advantage. A child with a grandmother nearby had a better chance of surviving. A mother could recover, care for the baby, and eventually have another child. The group became stronger. The genes kept moving forward. So long life after childbearing age may not be a system failure. It may be a strategy. Somewhere long ago, an older woman digging roots under the burning sun may have been the reason a child did not starve. And now look at the modern world. We built separate rooms, closed apartments, personal boundaries, sleep schedules, and the idea that a normal adult should be able to handle everything alone. But our bodies were not built for that. The baby's need for contact, the parent's exhaustion, the desperate wish to hand the child to someone else for even 1 hour, none of that is weakness. It is the memory of an older system where children were raised by a network of people. Modern parenting often feels unbearable, not because people became weaker, but because they became too alone. One adult at night is carrying a weight evolution never meant for one person to carry. So now return to the beginning. You pick up a crying baby. The baby presses against you. Its breathing slows. The crying fades. The room is warm, safe, and quiet. There are no predators outside the door. No wild forest begins at the edge of the firelight. But inside that small body, the ancient world is still alive. A world where babies could not be left alone, where silence could save a life, where adult arms meant movement toward safety, where family was not two exhausted people behind a closed door, but a whole group making sure the baby did not disappear into the dark. And here is the unexpected ending. Maybe a baby calms in your arms not only because you are a good parent. Maybe, for 1 second, its body recognizes the oldest signal in human history. I am not alone. That means I will survive.